people, welcome to another fragrance video. Today I have a fragrance review from the house of Lattafa. This fragrance is called Al Nashama. If you guys want to know what I think about this particular fragrance, please stay tuned. Sipping on your guys, before I share my take on Al Nashama from the house of Lattafa, if you are visiting the channel for the first time, my name is Amanda. This is Top Note by A. I share all things fragrance related. Guys, if you like what you see, leave me a subscription. Also, to all my returning viewers and subscribers, thank you for always supporting the channel. Thumbs up the video and also leave me comment in the comment section. Guys, Al Nashama is from the house of Lattafa. I've had this fragrance for a little bit and I decided I want to review this fragrance for any of my subscribers or any new viewers that care to have a Lattafa fragrance that it's not your typical Arabian fragrance. And so this is Al Nashama. The fragrance opens like this, you know, with this big cap that is plasticky, and it sprays just like any other Lattafa fragrance, guys. It sprays beautifully. The notes of the fragrance, you have bergamot, you have sage, you have pink pepper, you have plum, you have jasmine, you have black pepper. The base of the fragrance, you get amber, you have patchouli, you have musk, and of course you have leather. For me, the first note that I get when I spray this fragrance is that fermented vibe or fermented accord that I get from most plum fragrances. That is what I get. And then I get the bergamot. I necessarily don't get like spiciness from the pink pepper, but I get some fruity vibe from the pink pepper when I first spray this fragrance. It's the plum for me. It's that fermented plum in the middle of the fragrance, but I'm getting it in the beginning of the fragrance. I'm also getting that bergamot. So I'm getting this fruity, sweet, fermented note or accord from the beginning of the fragrance with citrusy vibe from the bergamot, and then of course some fruity touches from the pink pepper, not necessarily spicy. As the fragrance tends to dry down, I pick up some powdery nuances. I'm not sure which fragrance note is giving it, but I do pick up some powdery nuances to the fragrance. You do get the jasmine as the fragrance dries down, guys. You do get the jasmine, and lately though, from the Middle Eastern houses and especially Lattafa, whenever they use the fragrance notes of jasmine, I don't get it as synthetic. I do get like a photorealistic jasmine. That is what I get. And it's not so prominent in the middle of the fragrance. It's like it lingers, but it's not like, hey, look at me, I'm jasmine, I'm here. It's like in the background, adding a floral touch to the middle of the fragrance as the fragrance starts to dry down. And then you do get that pepper, you know, that spiciness from the pepper in the middle of the fragrance as the fragrance is drying down. The base of the fragrance, you do get leather, but it's not like fresh leather. It's more of a suede leather, adding depth to the fragrance. And of course you have the musk and you have the patchouli. The patchouli in this fragrance, in the base of the fragrance, as I have used this fragrance, it's a very smooth patchouli. It's not a very earthy patchouli, but it's like patchouli, it's like slightly earthy patchouli. That is what you get coupled with the musk. The musk in this fragrance, when the fragrance totally dries down, it's your musk, not your sweaty musk, but it's your fluffy musk of a fragrance, adding depth to the patchouli, adding to the earthiness of the patchouli, but not quite so earthy patchouli like in your face, like I'm here patchouli, but the patchouli is still there. The leather in this fragrance add like a suede vibe. It adds depth and oomph to the fragrance, but it's not like your typical leather fragrance. I move on. Guys, where can you wear this fragrance to? You can take this fragrance anywhere. especially if you are somebody that you love your middle listing fragrance, but you want that fragrance that doesn't smell like your typical middle listing or typical Arabian fragrance. This is the fragrance for you. Oh, it's so well done. It's sweet, it's plummy, it's citrusy, you know, with a little bit of spice from the pink, not from the pink pepper, but from the black pepper. You do get a little bit of spice. You do get that, you know, musky, patchouli vibe, you know, a little bit leather, adding that depth to the fragrance. You can wear this fragrance anywhere and everywhere. It's not a fragrance that I will take on a date night, but it's a fragrance that I will work out with and then I'll go grocery shopping with. It's a fragrance that I will wake up early in the morning, especially if you work in an environment that you don't want to smell overpowering. This is the fragrance that you should use. So this is a very work office friendly, any work that you do friendly. If you work in construction, this is a fragrance that you can take to the office. If you work in healthcare, this is a perfect fragrance for healthcare workers. If you work in an office space, this is a perfect fragrance for you to go to work with, because you're not really going to offend anybody with this fragrance. This is a fragrance that will get you compliments if you go grocery shopping. People will stop you and ask you, what are you wearing? So that leads me to the performance of the fragrance. Performance gives you a good 6 to 8 hours in performance, depending on how much you spray of this particular fragrance, Al Nashama. It will give you about 6 to 8 hours in performance of the fragrance. Your first 2 hours, you get a very good scent bubble. Your first 5 hours, you get a very good scent trail. But from the 6th to the 8th hour, it becomes more of an intimate skin scent that somebody has to be very close to you before they smell it. It's a really well done fragrance from the house of Lattafa. It's one of the Lattafa fragrances that I'm not sure had gone viral, but I think it should. It's one of the Lattafa fragrances that doesn't give you your typical, once again, your typical middle listing fragrances. It's a Lattafa fragrance that gives you your designer vibe. This is the fragrance that you get, and it's priced really well. I will leave a direct link where you can buy this particular fragrance. I know you can find it on Joma Shop. You can also get it from Beauty House. I have seen this fragrance on Triple Traders. So I will leave a direct link to all these websites that you can buy this fragrance at a very affordable price. This fragrance, I think the minimum price that I have found for this fragrance is about $26, and the performance is better than the price that you're paying for. So yeah, this is a very good fragrance that I think people are sleeping on, but they should not, and it's from the house of Lattafa. I move on. Thank you guys so much for making it this far. This is my review of Al Nashama from the house of Lattafa. If you want that plummy fermented fragrance that is well priced, that performs very well, then go with this particular fragrance from the house of Lattafa. It's under $30, guys. I think yes, under $30. I found it for $26 on most of the websites. So yeah, go with this one. Until I see you on another video, stay blessed, smell fabulous, and bye for now.